story there, well, I'll tell you the story, but I opened up the studio to do Bikram yoga, and everything was going great until about 2012. Opened up in 2010. About 2012, Bikram yoga started to lose favor, and I was quickly going out of business. Like, I remember telling my wife, I said, according to these numbers, I've got about 2 years and then my studio is gone. And at that time, as a business owner, you start to, just wonder what your focus is. With the thing that I went in to open a business for is now not viable. So what do we do? The studio's got 2 rooms, and I've got a number of instructors, and one of my instructors came to me and said, I learned this new thing called Hot Pilates. I want to add it, I'd like to teach it. And I kept telling her, no, we're a yoga studio. We do yoga here.
Yeah.
And at that time I was doing other yoga styles, and they weren't bringing in enough people, and I was going out of business. And then finally it dawned on me, the bank, the landlord, none of these people care what we're doing. They want to get paid.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep my house.
Yeah.
Whatever. Do your stupid hot Pilates in the small room. I'm sure it's gonna flop.
Right.
And that was, I had this hot Pilates class, and it was me. So if you imagine, I had this girl, she could only teach Tuesdays at 4:30, and I have a small room, I have a big room. I put her in the small room, and I had my Bikram yoga class that was packed all the time. Tuesday and Thursday, I taught it packed, and I put her in there for the hot Pilates, and she started with 5 people, and I came out, she was an hour class. I came out from my 90-minute class, and there's all 5 people are there telling me, we want to do more of this. And I went, okay. Thursday comes around, half of the people from my class are now in doing hot Pilates. Again, I came out, and everybody's looking at me like, let's do more. The next Tuesday came around, I had 5 people in my class, and her room was packed. And then the Thursday, so there were 4 classes in, 2 weeks in, 4 classes. I showed up to teach. I had one, I'll never forget this. I had one woman sitting in front of me. Everybody else from my class was packed in the room. And I looked down at her and I said, do you just want to go in there? And she picked up her mat.
That's incredible.
And ran in the room. And then I came out and I sat in the lobby, and I cried.
Oh.
And then just thought to myself, you know what? I think this hot Pilates thing might be big, and it might behoove me to figure out like what this is and go learn about it, because I don't have any idea what they're doing in that room. So I got on my laptop, I did a little research, and I found Inferno Hot Pilates. The training happened to be happening in like 3 days, and you ever have that, the credit card that you're not ever supposed to use because you're broke?
You use that one.
I pulled out that card, I charged the money, I drove my broken car to Inferno Hot Pilates in Las Vegas, and I went through her second teacher training ever. And at the time, she was in this really, really tiny studio, and I showed up and I took every class, and I sat in that studio for the 4 days of the training. I took every class, so three classes. I didn't take lunch, I took class.
Yeah. And
in that time, I thought to myself, this stuff's absolutely incredible. It fits in exactly. Gabby Walters, shout out to Gabby Walters. She was talking about hot Pilates the way I talked about Bikram yoga at the time. And I thought, these 2 things are going to be great. I'm going to bring this back to San Jose and just go with it. And I remember her asking me, she said, hey, what are you doing before you drive back? I said, I don't know. She said, why don't you come in and take class? And I woke up that Monday morning and I couldn't move. I was so sore, and I called her and I can't even move. I've got to drive back. So I got my legs in the car, drove back, took a hot bath, and pulled everything off the schedule that wasn't working, put myself on the schedule to teach hot Pilates. And in about 2 months, I went from going out of business to being back in business, and that was the beginning of hot Pilates.
Wow!
And it still is really the most popular thing that we do. It's great. It delivers results. The classes are a lot of fun. So this is the funny thing. So I put Hot Pilates in. I'm the only one teaching. I'm a little pudgy.
Oh,
and
you were?
Yeah,
Oh
and I'm
my
watching
God.
everybody in the studio get fit.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, okay, you're going to take the training, and you're going to take the training, and you're going to take the training. And I called Gabby up and I said, I've got 7 instructors to bring to you. I need you to do a training. They all got trained, and then now I had a staff of teachers, and I came back, and in about 3 months, I lost all the weight. I got very lean, and I just love Hot Pilates. I think it's a great system. It makes you very strong, very lean, very cardiovascularly fit, and I think it fits in perfectly with all the styles of yoga.
Yeah.
And it's just great, and I just haven't looked back. At the time when I met Gabby, I felt that I'm showing up at the beginning of something that's just going to go gangbusters. This is not going to be a flash in the pan, and I'm going to come back and make sure that it's a hit here. And it wasn't hard to do.